Okay, so we're going to work on factoring trinomials. What we're going to do is I may do things a little differently than your teacher did, and that's perfectly fine. I like to play a little game. The game I like to play is I make a little cross or an X, and I say I need two numbers that are going to sum to give -10. No, sorry, they're going to multiply. They're going to have a product of -10, and that goes up in top. And they're going to sum to give 3, and that goes in the bottom. So in the top is two numbers whose product is -10, and then the bottom, two numbers whose sum is 3. And then we try to come up with the numbers. Well, what numbers will go together to give me 10 as a product and sum to give me 3? Well, the answers are 5 and 2. Now, how do they go together to give me a negative? Well, one's got to be negative. And they're going to sum to give me a positive, so it must be a -2 and a +5. So once I've played this part of the game, I come back over here and I say, okay, how am I going to get an X? I put an X in the front. I put an X in the front. My two numbers are 5 and -2. Let's check to see if it works. X times X is X squared. -2X plus 5X is plus 3X, -10. And I'm done. Another way of checking your signs is to say to yourself, they have to multiply to give a negative. So one must be positive and one must be negative. When you put them together, you get positive. So the larger one is positive. But you'll get that if you use my little trick over here. So let's do another one. Let's do my little trick. So in the top, I want two numbers that are going to sum, that are going to multiply product to give 15, positive 15. But they're going to sum to give -8. So two numbers that are going to sum to -8, and they're going to multiply to give positive 15. How about 5 and 3? How about we do -3 and -5? Let's see if it works. Negative times negative is positive. 3 times 5 is 15. -3 plus -5 is -8. It works. So coming over here, we put a D. We put a D. A -3, a -5. Let's see if it worked. D times D is D squared. -5D, -8D, plus 15. Last one. I'm going to put my little cross, or an X, depending. I'm looking for two numbers that are going to sum to give -6, and they're going to multiply to give 5. You got to make sure that you put them in the right place, right? Because if you goof that up, everything's going to fall apart. So they have to multiply to give 5. I can only think of 1 and 5. Well, they got to multiply to give a positive. So they both must be negative, and when they add, they give me negative. Let's see if it works. That does multiply to give 5. That does add to give -6. So my answer is going to be and as we know, the order of multiplication doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if it's x minus 5, then x minus 1. Nobody cares. It's the same answer. And that's a quick way for doing the factoring trinomials that have an a value, the number in front. Notice what this says, where a equals 1. So all of these have a 1 in front of them. There's an invisible 1 here, an invisible 1 here, an invisible 1 here. Now, that's a method for finding those factors. I would like to do those exact questions again with you, but show you what's really happening in the math, if you don't mind. So I'm going to take another piece of paper, and I'm going to say factoring simple trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a equals 1, but using decomposition. And our first example is going to be the exact one I did, x squared plus 3x minus 10. So, for some of you at BT, you've never seen this before. This is going to be new for you. This is the way decomposition works. We still set up our little x. We're still looking for two numbers that multiply to give negative 10 and sum to give 3. Those numbers are going to be 5 and 2. To be able to get a positive 3, it's the 2 that must be negative. So let's make sure that it works. Negative 2 times 5 gives me negative 10. Negative 2 plus 5 gives me 3. But this is what you do when you do decomposition. What happens is this x squared comes down, and this 3x gets broken up into its component parts. So the 3x gets decomposed into the 5 and the negative 2. Because if I have 5x, take away 2x, I have 3x. That's the decomposition part. What we actually have is x squared plus 5x minus 2x minus 10. What we do now is we group them. So I put the x squared and the 5x together, and I put the negative 2x and the negative 10 together. Notice that this plus simply means I made two groups out of them. The negative goes with the 2x, and the negative goes with the 10. I'm going to common factor out an x here. I'm going to common factor out a negative 2 here. I'm going to common factor one more time. They both have an x plus 5. And that is how we get the answer using decomposition. I want you to learn it. Yes, you can use your shortcut. Yes, you need to learn this. Let's do the second example together. So it was d squared minus 8d plus 15. So the second one is d squared minus 8d plus 15. Yes, this is a longer procedure. Yes, you can do this faster doing it your way. Yes, all of that is true. Learn this. You need it for something else. So we do our cross. Two numbers that multiply to give 15, sum to give negative 8. 5, and 3. Negative 5, negative 3. The negative and negative gives me positive 15. The negative and negative give me negative 8 when I sum them. Here's the decomposition part. Negative 5d, negative 3d, plus 15. The negative 8d got decomposed into a negative 5d and a negative 3d. It wouldn't matter which one you put first. Now you're going to group them. I'm going to take the d squared and the negative 5d and put them in a group. I'm going to take the negative 3d and the 15 and put it in a group. And I'm going to put addition, meaning that these two groups together equal what I have up above. I now common factor out a d, and I'm left with d minus 5 in the first one. I common factor out a negative 3, and I'm left with d minus 5 in the second one. They both have the same binomial, d minus 5, d minus 3. And that is called decomposition. D times d is d squared, negative 3d, negative 5d, positive 15. It works. We'll do the last example together, which was x squared minus 6x plus 5. Yep. We'll do the cross. Multiply to give 5, add to give negative 6. I'm thinking 1 and 5. Negative times a negative. Negative times negative gives me positive. Negative plus another negative gives me a negative sum. This works. So I'm going to decompose the negative 6, the x squared. So it'll be a negative 1x, a negative 5x plus 5. So the negative 6 decomposed into those two terms. Group them. Common factor. Can take an x out of this one. Can take a negative 5 out of this one. Common factor again, the binomial. And that's called decomposition, and that's your answer. Let's check if it's right. X times x is x squared. Negative 5x and another negative x is negative 6x. Positive 5, and we're done.
Sir?
Yeah.
For at the end when you're putting it together, does it matter which one you put first? Like, can you put x minus 5 first?
Who's asking? What's your name?
Ariana.
Good question, Ariana. Let me ask you a question, Ariana. What's 3 times 5?
15.
What's 5 times 3?
15.
Order of multiplication does not matter.
Okay.
Good kid.
Thank you.
No, that was great. Thank you.